hit what appears to be what you're swinging, or it will default to what your weapon normally would hit. So if you're using a dagger, it's a quite narrow cone. If you're using a polearm, it's quite wide. But the combos will be hitting multiple targets.
Yeah. I liked a lot the first cinematic video you did with Conan and everything, and that reminded me of something I really loved in Anarchy Online. It was the story videos you did regularly at the start, and you stopped doing that after some time. And I was wondering if you plan to do the same thing at the start, at the launch of Conan. If you plan to do regular story videos to help to emerge to the global background.
I am so sorry to disappoint you, my friend. There was a reason why we stopped. So the answer for that would be, I don't think so.
Killing the graphic artists.
Yeah. Did you worked on them, right?
I did. It was a nightmare, but fun. Fun nightmare.
Okay.
We'll see how many customers we get. Maybe go
Was
again.
too much work or too much?
Yeah, not enough monetary bang for the buck.
Hands up, hands up.
Just kind of a very basic question to go back to the beginning when you first started doing Conan. What made you decide to go with the art direction that you did? Here's an art question.
Woo!
So.
Thank you, sir. You get the prize.
Yeah. What made you decide to go to the art direction that you did? I mean, obviously Conan is gritty, but I mean, you could have done it more of like a big sort of hulking caricature sort of characters, not cartoony per se, but just less realistic, more here's what the comic book looked like. Here's your your comic book character. Why did you decide to do it the way you did?
I think I like the comics as well. I like the comic look a lot.
Right.
That's more my personal style. But to be a part of Hyboria and to feel realism and the grittiness, it could have been even grittier, even darker. We went for a good compromise, and dynamics was a really important issue. That you wouldn't all be vading around in darkness and grittiness. You would actually get your moments of sunlight coming through.
Right.
As much variation as possible. And the realism, well, to be a bit closer to the movie maybe. That was one issue. And
really, do you think the movie? I mean, was the movie a big influence in the way things panned out?
Careful.
not up.
I mean, everybody's always. There's always the big thing. It's like, is it like the movie? And it's kind of this back and forth answer.
But there's another movie maybe coming up, so
oh.
that was more important. Yeah.
King Conan.
Yeah. Wouldn't we like to see that?
Yes.
Conan Strikes Back.
But the rock is Conan.
I don't know. No, we went for a magic realism. I think that's a good way to describe it.
Okay.
So,
But I think if it's anything we learned from the movies, it was probably some of that visual style, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of liked the first movie.
First movie was really good. Second one sucked. But
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it's very distinct in style. That post-70s kind of big boots with fur hanging down and weird braless women, and it's a fun. It's like it's a trip when you look at it, and I think it's a good inspiration actually.
Okay, arms up. Yes.
Something that sort of ties in with the role-playing questions earlier. What about character customization throughout the game to make players able to be distinct from another, although they might be going for the same item altogether, like bleaching your clothes, changing your haircut and stuff?
Well,
I think you and Didrik can offer his arty.
Arty.
Yeah, that was probably derogatory. Yeah.
Me again?
Go ahead.
Can you repeat the question? Please?
Character customization throughout the game later on, after you created your character. What are the possibilities players have there?
Ooh, there's a heap of sliders. But you mean after
Yeah,
character is
throughout
made?
the
Okay.
actual game.
Like if you get the same item. Is what you're saying.
This is a question for.
She's waiting for it. Put it back. There are, first of all, I just need to repeat that, I don't think any other MMO has such a wide variety and detail in terms of facial and bodily expression that we do, coupled with the realistic look. What we do have support for is a lot of changes on your body by itself, like you could wear different sets of tattoos or different things like that. There isn't any particular method today to change, retexture your items and store that on the character so that you take like a bleached thing and you put some other color on it. But definitely that's something we are always interested in and have discussed many, many times. And what we do have is a method to layer clothing. So you can have up to 4 layers of clothing on the character. So you can, even though you equip the same things with the combination, can make it look differently. If you see what I'm saying. So that we do have, but the actual physical changing of that, of the special clothing, like painting on a guild symbol on your cloak or something like that, we do not have support for that at the moment. But that's something people do request all the time and are very interested in. And so again, something that we are always considering inserting into the game to let people differentiate what they do. But the core of the game is, although it's an MMO, it's a much more like meaty, violent game. So it's always a struggle for those features which are social to compete which social features who come in compared to the more violent ones and how much effort we put into those. So that's why I think that we're saying that, let's have a look and see what we want to do post-launch.
But I heard today that there are about 1,500 different armor/clothing sets in the game.
Yeah.
So you have a great deal of customization just by what you can dress yourself in.
And that's sets, which means that there are 4 to 6 pieces of each of them. So you can multiply that up and then make your own combinations.